People wanted me to dive deep on this one, so let's get it.
UK, known as Young Philly, has been extradited from Queensland to WA, accused of serious sexual allegations following an incident in Perth.
That's right, Laura, and it's serious. He's facing 4 counts of penetration without consent, 3 counts of occasioning bodily harm, and 1 count of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation. Detectives say the 29-year-old man said...
Correct.
Actually,
I don't think this guy's a Jedi.
No.
I don't think he's just here like,
Yeah.
this man's not Darth Sidious. I think if she couldn't breathe, it's because he was choking her.
Yeah.
actually assaulted a woman in her 20s in his Perth hotel room after he performed...
Pause. Welcome on into another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show, right? And this one is with Young Philly. Somebody wanted me to dive deep on it, so I do what the audience want me to do, right? Smash that like button, tell a friend, and tell a friend. It's a midnight update. It's a midnight update. Subscribe to the channel. Hit them links down below to add value to your life. Let me know what else I could do for you, right? Now, this is the ABBA show, the ABBA and Preach show, so they went over it. But take a little listen, because I ain't know too much about Young Philly, right? I didn't know who he was, but it's a UK podcaster / musician and artist. But why they say allegedly, hypothetically, he touchy Philly choking these females out? Why is that? What's wrong with you, Slim? You got too much money to be acting like that, allegedly, hypothetically, supposedly. What's going on with you? But let me let Aba and Preach.
an event in Hillary's on Saturday, September 28.
All right. So his bail conditions are pretty strict. He's going to be stuck over there till December. He's not allowed to leave Western Australia until he's stood trial. Apparently, the police officers have...
So he can't leave Australia? He's not even from there? My God. How many kangaroos y'all think in Australia? This may be Kangaroo Jack. Last time I checked, what's going on? What's in his pouch? Leave them comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about this, these sexual allegations. Is it true? Y'all think it's true? Word on the street is, allegedly, hypothetically, it might be. Just based on the character, based on talking to other people, right? Just what Aba said, based on talking to other people. People say this part of his characteristics. So I'm like, come on, you can't get money and be so arrogant, right? Because I've noticed that the more money you make is the more you reveal who you are. If you're a pure person, if you're a good-spirited person, the world gonna be able to tell. If you're a wicked individual, very demonic, the world gonna be able to tell too. If you have trauma that you've been suffering from for years, the world's gonna be able to tell, especially on the internet. You can't hide nothing on the internet. It's no point. It's no point. The internet is undefeated. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Strong CCTV evidence for why they justified themselves making the extradition and the arrest, as well as photos and videos of the young girl's injuries to her body and to her neck. So start off at the beginning. These are allegations. They haven't been proven true.
That's facts. But one thing I must say, right? Y'all got to understand women's rights, right? And the system that we're in. It's against men. Let's just, I said men. I ain't say boys. I'm talking about men. Men is a certain degree, right? Everyone that's a male isn't a man. Let me repeat. Everyone that's a male doesn't mean that you're a man. Because a man is an earned title. It's an earned title. You got a lot of males just running around here. You know, smash that like button if you agree. But let's go back and talk about the women's rights. The women's rights are strong, universal. Around the world, it is super strong. So you got to be careful. Even if some of these things may be allegations, right? But you still have to be careful to not to put yourself in those positions. Always sign an NDA if you're doing the right thing. Now, if you're signing an NDA to do the wrong thing, I don't support that message. But if you're doing the right thing to protect your assets, to protect your bag, and hey, I was told never have sexual intercourse with a drunk person because it's gonna come back to bite you. She's impaired. So if she's impaired, she's not in the right frame of mind. Therefore, she's willing to do whatever. Be very, very, very careful. That's all I'm saying. And with great powers and with a large amount of bags come great responsibility. Then repeat, with great powers and getting that money, it becomes great responsibility. So certain things you can and can't do. You can and can't too. You can't even make yourself publicly accessible. You're too publicly accessible, which means that public things are going to happen to you. Smash that like button if you agree. But let's continue.
If you don't know who Young Philly is, Young Philly is a very popular content creator and a semi-popular music artist. He's currently on tour right now, so he's performing. He does his songs in different places. Mm-hmm. You might know him from Beta Squad, the work he's done with Chunks, and he's been on BBC. He's done a whole bunch of television shows. Let me just say his life's pretty much over. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you all of his TV contracts, all the commercials, all the brand deals where he makes most of his money.
That's dropped.
It's over. Especially in a place like the UK where they don't play with allegations like that. For someone like him who is so mainstream and relying on that to make 90% of his money, that's just pretty much done. Young Philly has a long history of being weird around women, apparently. So we're going to examine some of that and take a look at it towards the end. I personally know quite a lot of creators who've either worked with him.
There's so many women in the world. Why you need to be weird? Why you need to be weird? See, some people with money, they just always been either too geeky or too weird, or they don't have any social skills or something. Because, come on now, that's just like, I don't understand these things where people sliding in people's DM. That is the most indirect thing ever. If I see her and I want her, I'm going smack at her. In real life, I'm a real person. My game is like that. It's like that. It's so convincing, right? So, and I'm confident in myself to get any and everybody. Anybody I got my eyes on, got you. Got you. Smash that like button if you agree. You have to have some form of confidence. I think sliding people DM is so beta that it's crazy. You don't need to slide in no one's DM. When I see you and I holler at you, then that's what it is. The big facts. But let's go.
Work with him consistently or know a lot about him through being in the UK scene. And most of them, all of them have negative things to say about him.
Really? Not good.
Yeah. What I know is that from all the people I know who have interacted with him, they all say a lot of the same little things. He's very aggressive with ladies, and they all say he's incredibly arrogant and very like pompous when the cameras are off, and he's just very mean towards people.
Gotcha.
And these are people I respect very well. These are people who work with him consistently. So when a lot of the people around you are all saying, "I'm not surprised."
Yes.
They're like, "I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised."
Yeah.
You know, if they would have said this about Chunks,
it's not shit. It's been like, oh
yeah, him. Young Philly doing the silly with his Willie moving like Young Diddy. It's not bad. It's pretty good. I'll take that.
Young Silly, what? Doing the Young Diddy, man. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. This is no time to have any type of woman allegation against you, especially in the time that we're in right now. Y'all know they got the Survival Act. Y'all know about the Survival Act? A woman can wait 30 years, an unbelievable amount of time has passed, a lifetime, eons has passed. She could say, you know what? You remember that night when I was drunken? Yeah, I was drunken and I really didn't like what you did on that night. What? So all I'm saying is that you got to be very strategic, very practical. You got to be generous. Just you got to be you, but protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. Protect yourself. Don't do what the average Joe do. Have them to sign an NDA. This is not, do I have your consent? Are you in the right frame of mind? I mean, by the time you go through all that, I guess you can't get no box, but damn, I would rather go through that than somebody saying that I took something that wasn't mine. Hell, she's giving it to me. It comes by the bundle. It comes in groups. It's a lot of it out here. Last time I checked, women outnumbered men. Last time I checked, smash that like button if you agree. I ain't losing for nothing. We ain't missing nothing. Know what you know. But all I'm saying is that don't go the Young Philly way. Allegedly, hypothetically, supposedly. Philly. Who was he feeling?
Yo. The one that was most telling to me was that 4 months ago, there was a post talking about how he is with fans on tour. And in the post, a lot of people were leaving comments, and I didn't care for most of them, but there was one of them that was like interesting. I mean, some of these are just arrogance. Like he goes here and like someone says, yes, he tried to make me and my friends guess how much money he makes yearly. And when we said we had boyfriends, he called us dead things anyways. So it was one of them ones where But here's the one that really stood out to me. The way he was acting in Australia was outrageous. And then someone else replies, "What happened?" And then the original poster says, "He bit my homegirl outside the club."
Well,
Now, mind you, this is 4 or 5 months ago before any of this kind of stuff surfaced. And over the years, there was talk of him being involved with an underage person. There's a lot of little things like that. And overall, the vibe that he gives off, as well as what people say about him, is he's a bit of a, I don't know if sex pest is the right term, but the dude is... he's a
sex pest. Sex.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody just be on it all the time.
Where'd you get that from?
I don't know. I've heard that a few times.
But that's good.
Adam was an only
Listen
child.
to the question, babe, yeah?
So there's no other brothers or sisters.
Your hair smells nice, so.
Thank you.
hold on. Hold on. He's giving me creepy vibes off that one. Damn, you don't know to smell the girl. You just interviewing a woman and you like, your hair smell nice. It's a little bit pedophilic to me. I mean, the hair do look nice, but goddamn, you can say that. We don't gotta smell it. It's a little bit. That's a little bit too much, right? Especially nowadays, man. That's a little bit too much nowadays. Let's just see, though. Let's just see.
Is it that weird to sniff someone's hair during an interview?
Yes, it is. But it's just like the Diddy thing. That like, there's a lot of things that we look back on.
With Diddy,
Diddy was like,
it's just not the right time to be doing these things based on the narrative, what's going on in the world. It's just not the right time to be doing stuff like that. You're gonna look so absurd. It's like if you leave the window open for something to happen, then something's gonna happen. To me, he left his window open. I guess he left his back door open as well.
and now that we know everything that we know, we look back at it and we're like, oh. But when this happened, we probably would say like, that's a bit odd, isn't it? That's a bit off, right? But when we know what we know, it's like,
yeah. I mean, part of his humorous stick was being like a horny dog. That was part of his persona. It was.
I understand.
For some people, think that's funny. I always thought it was a bit cringe.
That's gonna back.
That was his bit. Him and the other guy, the Panero dude, they would just often be really horny. Like
maybe that was his marketing scheme. But all I'm saying is that some schemes just don't work. Some schemes actually backfire. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend and tell a friend.
Sexually aggressive with ladies, and for them, that was what was funny for the fans. But the reality was, it was always a bit awkward if you're a well-adjusted person.
Look good as well. What's that? Oof, you're on jiggles as well. Oof.
Emily.
Come a bit closer to me, Emily, I don't think. And your name is?
Gracie.
Emily and Gracie, ladies and gentlemen. Got great skin, by the way.
A tortoise.
Reflection.
Oh,
Look, we're holding hands now, see? Now that I've won some riddles, she's saying, oh, you're a strong, independent man.
all of it.
Okay, and you're, oh, yeah? White dad's tick as well. Look after you.
Oh, you're amazing.
Don't hide.
Oh, my
Come here. Ooh,
Great
my
pair
way
of
for your head.
I mean, like, it's part of his brand. He's just a bit of a horn dog.
I see what you're saying.
Again, in a vacuum, I don't think this thing is necessarily still again. It is just a bit weird behavior, in my opinion.
It is.
And to be fair, now this makes a lot of sense to me because I've seen like podcast clips of him talking about how he talks to women really badly. And like for clarification, I didn't take anything to heart. I don't want anyone to be like, oh my God, what a horrible guy. So we're like exchanging DMs back and forth.
But my thing is this though, right? That's why you say you gotta be careful because you hear everything that she's just talking about, correct? Y'all heard everything that she's just talking about. She said, I'm not bashing him, but yet you're airing something private to the public. You are bashing him, man. You're bashing him because you're letting them know what happened between y'all. Is she doing it for the clout? Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think about this one. Is she reaching? Leave your thoughts down below.
20 at this point. Yeah, I was 20. And then he like finds my YouTube videos and he's like sending me pictures of myself in my videos, like telling me he didn't like what I was wearing or like he didn't how I looked in that video. And then like I can't remember what I responded.
The way I see it is it's like I said, this experience to me was insignificant. This one right here, what she was talking about. Did it prove his case a little bit? Did it make him look bad? Yes, it did. But it's the same thing to me that part right there is the same thing that they did with Andrew Tate, right? Some of the women, or at least 99.9% of the women, said he did nothing wrong. He did absolutely nothing wrong. I don't want to say that this case is the same thing because we need way more proof, way more evidence, way more this, way more that, right? He's still in court right now. So everyone is innocent until proven guilty. We're just speculating right now. We don't know if it's something that he did that bark up the wrong tree. We don't know that he's probably making so much money that it upset somebody. We don't know if somebody decided to make this a part of their attacking marketing scheme against him. Like, who's to know, right? Who's to know? But let's continue. I just want to make that clear for the record. For the record.
Fucking off, bro.
Isn't it weird?
Yo,
I've been doing this.
not a crime. Not a crime. God damn.
Okay, hold on. Let's keep listening.
Yo, j'aime pas ce que tu portes là. Ferme ta gueule, G.
To a girl, you're like chatting.
Girl,
That's so weird.
That's weirdo.
What I responded, but I like tried to just be like, oh, haha. And then he sent me like the most brutal message being like, look, you seem like a lovely girl, but like, honestly, I just could not be any less interested in you. So I'm not going to let you waste your time on this.
How was that brutal? See, that's what I don't get. That's what I say. Her storyline, it really don't make sense to me. The man was honest with you and said, hey, look, I don't really like you. Not even really. I don't like you. You're not my cup of tea. You're just not it. Now, did she take that to heart? Probably so. Right? But so what? Like, so what? I don't think he bashed you in that situation. Just in that situation. Let's continue. He just was honest with you. And one thing I noticed, two things I know for certain, women cannot take honesty. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend and tell a friend. I noticed that, you know what I noticed about women? They want you to be like a woman. Oh, well, you talk to me, it's too aggressive. Okay. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. Okay. So they're always basing it on a feeling type of atmosphere, an emotional thing, which that's how they species are designed. So as a man, you got to understand that you might have to reframe what you say or do it in a diabolical way or exercise some patience, right? But some men don't have the time for that, right? Some men not going to waste their time. But let's continue. The truth hurts. I get it.
And I was like, oh my
I bet you felt so
God,
humble.
I never wanted to show my face ever again. I was with Lewis in the car and I was like, what on earth? And I was like, why respond to me that? Like, why keep the conversation going with me then? Like, if you were just going to say that.
Okay, so basically he's acting like every people commenting on posts. That you're like, well, why don't you just shut the fuck up then? He's acting like some people that are watching their videos and then commenting.
But when I told you this guy is very entitled and arrogant, and that's what people around him say, and this is what these people in the clips are saying, this is just a reflection of what happened. Right. Everything that I've been told before, I see videos of how he is behind. Like,
let's just say I had a girlfriend, hypothetically, yeah? And I know one of her biggest insecurities was her weight, yeah? And she showed me a red dress and she showed me a blue dress, yeah? I'm not saying this is good how I am. I need to work on it. She showed me a red dress and a blue dress. And I knew in the blue dress she looked a bit fat. But she really liked the red dress more. I would actually say to her, baby, look a bit fat in that blue dress. Right. Because do you know what? Do you know why I would, well, my train of thought, I do believe it's wrong though. But the only reason I'd say that is because I don't want her to now wear this one because she didn't hear her insecurity in that one. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't.
And that's when you lost me. Because it's like, even you admitted that you was dead wrong for that. To me as a man, that don't make no sense. Now, yes, you could be honest with him, but sometimes you cannot be honest with him. You have to tell him, man, you look all right in that dress. You already know she looked better in the other one, obviously, but yet you're going to pay attention and hold her up to the negativity of the one that she really don't like, right? So to me, that is a bit arrogant. That is a bit entitled, and you can come off wrong. And even he know when he thought about it, you don't have to do all that. It's like you can do enough or you can do too much, right? And to me, that was a bit doing too much. Way too much. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Was that way too much or not? Was that way too much or not? To me, that was way too much. I want to go on to another video for y'all, right? I want to go into another video. Let me cue it up for you. And let's get a different perspective. Let's get a different perspective. Let me know if y'all can see the video. Let me know if y'all can see the video. Put a 1 in the chat. You can see it? You can see it? Okay, boom. Let's get it started.
Also charged with a woman in her 20s in a hotel room in Perth. And honestly, the fallout from this could be insane, because not only is he part of this huge friendship group with some of the biggest creators in the world, but he also works with some of the biggest brands as well, like the BBC, ITV, Meta, and even charities like the Prince's Trust. Are his friends going to defend him or abandon him? Will brands...
See, that's what we don't know, because y'all see who was running with Mr. Beast. Hey, I heard about the Mr. Beast allegations. Pedophile, pedophile, pedo this, pedo that, transcend this, transcend that, having people do things against their will. The show wasn't really authentic. It was actors in the show, but yet it was presented as it being authentic. So it's a lot of nuances to this thing right here. It's a lot of nuances to this one right here. And he's in the mix of everything. So my question would then be, because I think outside the box, was he targeted? What did he really do wrong? Did he really rape these people, or were these allegations? Did he choke these people, or were these allegations? Healthy Discussion is saying allegedly, hypothetically, supposedly. No one knows, and the man is innocent until proven guilty. Now, I know we're living in a world where you're guilty until proven innocent, especially when you're dealing with women in that case, especially any type of allegations as far as sex trafficking or rape. They're going to presume that you're guilty, and then you have to prove yourself. So I don't want to run with that storyline, because I understand how the narrative go, right? I understand how the narrative go. But continue to watch. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend and tell a friend.
decide to drop him? Did he even do it? Well, that is all what we're going to go over today. So, like the video and let's get... And prosecutors allege that this incident happened at a hotel room after performing at a nightclub in Perth for his Australia tour. So, because of this, they actually had to extradite him back to the state that this happened. And as you can see, this is the video of him in an airport coming back from Queensland, Brisbane, where he was at, to Western Australia to face trial. And as you can see, he's handcuffed there, being led by a couple of police officers and put into a car. Now, before we go into details of what was alleged in court that actually happened, and warning, because they're pretty gruesome, I feel like for anyone who isn't as familiar with young Philly needs to understand the magnitude of this, because him being arrested is not just going to affect his career deeply, but you have millions of his followers that look up to him. He's also part of this huge friendship group in the UK that are some of the biggest creators in the world, like the Sidemen, the Beta Squad. He's got a podcast with Chunks. He's also doing a lot of work in traditional TV, like he's got his own show with the BBC called Hot Property. He's got another show with Channel 4 and Harry Pinero called The Philly and Harry Show. He's featured in a bunch of Sidemen videos, some of which have got over 80 million views, and his dedicated ones with them have over 40 million views. He played in the Soccer Aid match on ITV. He was in the Great Celebrity Bake Off. He's got his own music, which gets millions of streams every month, and he goes on tours, as he was doing in Australia, always working with massive brands. Like, he's got his own sauce with Heinz. He's worked with Meta, the British military, Adobe, Captain Morgan, and a bunch of others. And he even works with charities like Stand Up to Cancer and even the Prince's Trust to inspire young people to chase their dreams. So
the man is well connected, obviously. That's why I say you can't call it right now, because see, he's so connected that you don't know where this is coming from. This may be a Diddy situation. Who did he upset? Who did he upset? What didn't he agree to? Allegedly, hypothetically, supposedly. I just begin to think, because if you're in the mix with all these different things, you're making millions. You're literally making millions. You have a Captain Morgan sponsorship. Okay. So you into the alcohol and the spirits. Okay. You into the food. You got your own sauce. You make your own music. You have your own YouTube. You also collab with all the big boys on YouTube. What does that show? He's well connected. Who did he disrespect? I'm just saying. I just begin to think. Smash that like button. Let me know what you really think about this one. Let me know what you really think. Let's get it.
Oh, point is, the fallout for someone like this that is working with and affiliated to so many different people and brands, all of them are probably going to try and desperately now try and protect their own public reputation. But we'll get back to that side of things in a second, because today he appeared in court where he's being charged with 4 counts of penetration without consent, 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm, and 1 charge of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation by applying pressure to their neck, aka strangling. He couldn't have just said that. And the prosecutors even attempted to oppose young Philly's bail application because they alleged that there was an extremely strong prosecution case supported by CCTV and photo evidence. And they basically are trying to make the case that he's not just some ordinary person being tried, and they don't want him to use his social media influence to impede the case. Prosecutors also showed pictures to the magistrate which were not shown in court, and in reference to what these photos depicted, they said, across her body is a history of violent acts. We say those photos and what is alleged is beyond the pale, beyond what could be considered a consensual act. Now, on the other side, Philly's lawyers are questioning the strength of the prosecution's case because they are claiming that the girl didn't even raise any concerns about assault during a call with her friend at 5:31 a.m. Now, the case was adjourned for the day and he was granted conditional bail, but in those conditions are a ban on contacting his alleged victim or posting anything about this whole case to his millions of followers on social media. Now, it goes without saying, but the charges don't suggest that the allegations are proven. Rather, he will now be tried in an Australian court and he is innocent until proven guilty. When these sorts of allegations come out, it almost doesn't matter to the internet. The damage is done. I mean, you go on Twitter and people are already bringing up.
And that's what I said. The damage is already done. The damage is done. Why? Because the allegations have just, and that's what I don't like about this online thing too. Because someone can just make up something to destroy everything that you have just built, right? And just make up something and go off just for clout, just for notification. And then what? And then what? Like I say, these are all allegations. No one truly knows. He's been granted conditional bail. If he was that much of a high risk like Diddy or anything along that nature, he would be granted no bail at all. So obviously something just may not be so right. But leave your thoughts down below.
Up old clips of Philly interacting with women. And it's like, before the allegations, hardly anyone batted an eye at some of these. But now you see him getting arrested, and then there's hindsight, and people see this with a whole different view.
They're opportunists. All it is they're opportunists right now. Birds of a feather flock together. So if one girl says something, all of them might say, well, you know what? I can have a chance to come up. I can have a chance to say this and say that. Let's dismantle this man. So not only are you going against the forces of the earth, but you're also going against the women of the earth as well. At least some of them. And most of them stick together. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And it goes crazy viral.
Not crazy. Choking her? You trying to kill her? Not like a choke. It was more like a, you know what I mean?
What the? Yeah, see, look.
What?
Yo, okay.
Monkey see, monkey do, bro.
Right.
Yeah, so you get the point. And I mean, there's no point in showing you the other things that are floating around on Twitter because.
I mean, but did he choke the woman? Did he? I mean, because think about it. You having sex with a woman, right? Sexual intercourse, right? Let's just keep it G. You might want to put your hands around her neck just for her to explode. That's a tactic. Now, we ain't saying choking her. I don't agree with choking her and stopping her airway and killing her and stuff like that. No, it's a gesture that may insinuate something else. But to do that in public, see, public scrutiny, they're going to look at it in a whole different light, ain't? And he didn't aggressively do anything, or at least what I've seen. At least just what I seen with my eyes. He didn't apply pressure, nothing along that nature. Right? She didn't say no. She didn't say stop. She didn't say anything along that nature. Right? And it was some form of interview or something along that. So this is a very fine line. But my question is, do you want to play? That's why I tell people, separate what you do in your public life from your private life. Right? Because that's something that you do in your private life. Right? That's not something that you would want to insinuate in your public life because somebody can use that against you. as time go on, as you grow, as you succeed, as you get to your point. Because most of men not going to reach their peak until 45, 50. That's why men date down and women date up, because they're looking for some sort of stability and prevention, protection, and everything along that nature. So it's a fine line that you got to play with. It's a fine line between the pool and the ocean. But it's damn sure it's that fine line that people could still say, you know what? This don't make you look good. So that's why I said these are all allegations. Once again, I'm going to keep saying that this is all allegations. We're just speculating on the story real quick. That's just my honest thoughts.
That place, they are really just prepared to destroy lives, innocent or guilty. But the part that's going to be really crazy to watch is how other creators react or respond to these allegations. Are they just going to try and ignore everything and everyone until there is a verdict? Are they going to come out and try and defend him? Are they going to try and remove his videos where he made features? What are all these brands going to do? Because brands are notorious for being one of the first.
I know what they're going to do. They're going to play it safe. They're not going to say anything at all. Because why would you say anything? You can't defend him. I'm not defending him either. Why would I defend him? Right? We're just speculating on the story. It's all allegations. You can't defend somebody. You got to know if what's real and what's not. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to put from just a business point of view, business outlook. He may not have did this, right? But I'm going to say that he didn't do it, and then come to find out, what if he did do it? What does that mean for your branding? You just crashed your own brand. So people are going to cállate la boca. People are going to be quiet to see the verdict. After they see the verdict, then that's when they could place their position. Now, if the verdict is actually authentic, because just because it goes through court, it doesn't mean, right? For instance, Andrew Tate. Just because it goes through court, it doesn't mean that it wasn't somebody that had an agenda to take you down, which is bigger than the courts. Or what if they own the court system? Or what if they lobbyists that's making sure that, hey, put this news article, this narrative against this person. He's too big for his britches. It's a lot to think about. You got to critically think about these things. I'm not on any side right now. I'm playing it neutral. You have to. You have to. And then you got to make your own educated decision based on the evidence and based on his character and based on what's really going on. That's just my honest thought. What y'all think about it?
First people to come out and publicly denounce anyone for anything, man, because you think about people, even like Russell Brand, and how everyone dropped him when, he was accused of assault, even from 10 years ago. They closed his pub down. I mean, even YouTube removed him from the partner program. So from making any money for allegations alone, allegations that I might add that have still.
That's what I said. You don't know. Maybe it's the forces above that's trying to attack the man. Like, you don't know. Maybe he got too big for his bridges. Because I listened to the other guy you just talked about. And of course, he's spreading truth upon the internet. He's literally spreading truth upon the internet about telling you about the jabs of 2020 and how they misinformed people and XYZ. And it will be in the CDC or the whistleblowers' best condition to silence the man, because they try to censor everything I was talking about back then too. Every post I posted, censored. So the algorithm itself was embedded or written to censor a certain type of material, which means that they can control your narrative because you're on their platform. Can we talk about it? Make it make sense. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Not, come to anything like him being charged or arrested or even amounting to any serious legal action. So if that's how they treated Russell Brand of allegations alone.
See what I'm saying? It's the same point I made. They treated the Russell Brand as if he was nothing. The only thing he was doing is actually spilling the truth. But they don't like when you spill the truth, because the truth, right? You only have to tell one truth to depict all lies. That's it. That's it. And then if you do your research, you find out that, hell, it was a hoax. They even came back and said, well, it doesn't really matter if you took the shot or you didn't take the shot, because come to find out, if you wore a mask or you didn't wear a mask, it was still people were still getting sick. The thing is, who owned the mask? Who owned the 6 feet direction thing? Those are the people that made all the monies. Can we talk about it? If you follow the money, you would know you would know what's going on. And I also heard that a Harvard professor made it and sold it to the Chinaman. Last time I checked. But hey, do your own research. Don't believe me. Do your own research.
How the hell are they going to treat young Philly when he's being charged and arrested? And it's not like it's going to be easy for some of these big creators to just ignore because, you know, Philly is really a big part of their content. I mean, especially the Chunks and Philly show. Like that podcast has just come up and it's, you know, started to do really well. And now this happens. I think it really comes down to how much pressure their fans and the internet puts on them to say something. But honestly, only time will tell. And I'll make sure to keep you updated.
That's facts. That's facts. On that note, let me know what y'all think about this story. I had to cover it because the people wanted me to cover it. So let's cover the story. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. And I hope you learned something from this, right? It's a certain way you got to act in public than you do in private and separate both things. And even if you're climbing up the ladder, be very careful because you got some people that don't like the fact that you're climbing, right? You have some people that don't like the fact that you're climbing. And understand that women have rights too. They have something called the Survival Act. So be very careful. So let them sign the NDA. Do not ask them, hey, can we do this? Make sure it's recorded. Hey, can we do this? Is it okay for me to do this? I need to hear you say it out your mouth. I don't want anything to come back on me. Now, people might say, hey, you might be doing too much. I tell them, wait, look, you're not doing enough. Now, in today's world, you have to transform with the times or you will get left behind. You have to transform with the times. If you know where you're heading and where you're going, you might want to protect your bag and protect your assets. That's all I'm saying. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the beginning. This is not the end. Make sure you hit the email for me. Send me some more subjects y'all want me to cover. If you're feeling generous or you want to buy me a cup of tea, the Cash App and the PayPal is right there available. Also, I'm adding value to the channel. Hit them links down below. EMF Cancer Protection. Get you some business funding. Also, check on your credit and make sure everything is straight. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. And remember, positivity over negativity